Hi guys, we are going to be getting straight into some stretching today, and I've had some questions come through on my Instagram story, so I'm just going to be chatting away about that really. So let's get started, shall we? We're going to start off with some ankle mobility. Oh, I have one foot forward, nice and flat on the floor. I know you can't see me, great. Didn't prep the room as much as I should have done before going live, but that is live sometimes. And we're just going to lean forward in like so, far as you can go, keeping your heel down. Okay. And then if you want a good stretch, hold it. But if you just want to warm it up and mobilize, you can rock. As you come through, you can also potentially feel the stretch through the hips there if you want to. My ankles always need a good stretch, and this is great for before your squat session, leg session, deadlifts, really good. Usually do about 10 each side when I'm squatting and deadlifting, but my session's not till later, so this is just for us to do now, for you guys to join in hopefully, and ask me any questions if you've got any, if you manage to jump on. And if you don't manage to jump on live but you have questions anyway, then feel free to pop them in the comments and ask away. Like I said, I do have some questions that have come through on my Instagram stories from last week and from yesterday, so I'll cover them as we go. So I'm not really counting what I'm doing right now. I've got a timer for the stretches that we're going to be doing. This one for me is much tighter from an old injury, so usually hold this one a little bit longer. I'll do a little bit more reps on this one before I squat, but remember to keep that heel all the way down. Now, first question I had come through was how much rest should I be having between sets of reps? And honestly, it depends kind of what you're aiming for, how heavy you're going. So for me, I will, if I'm doing a lightweight, I'll probably go for 60 to 90 seconds, depending on the rep range. If the reps are high, then more towards the 90. If I'm going like middle of the road with the weight and the reps, then like 2 minutes. And if I'm going heavy, it'll be 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the exercise, the rep range, and the weight. If I'm going for maxes, if I'm going really heavy, close to my max or my maxes, then I'll probably go towards a 5-minute range. But you've got to find that sweet spot for you between recovery and not going cold. That's a big one when we're lifting. Okay, I'm going to leave that one there. Bring it in. I'm going to have this leg down and this leg right here. We're going to bring it down, and then we're going to try and take it all the way out, like so, far down as it'll go. So all the way in, and bring it down, rock your upper body, and we should be feeling it right in there. I'm not the best mobility and flexibility wise, so I can already really feel this. Good stuff. Okay, what else have we had come through? I'm lifting 3 or 4 times a week. How should I space them out? Ideally, we're going to swap sides. Ideally, what you want is a day in between your workouts. However, it depends on your workout split. If you're doing, for example, a typical powerlifting workout split, which is what I primarily do, will be Monday, it'll be front, it'll be chest and upper body, front, upper body. Tuesday will be deadlifts and back. Wednesday will be my rest day. Then Thursday will be chest and shoulders. Then Friday will be leg day. And then Saturday and Sunday will be rest days. If you're doing an upper body split, lower body split, or if you're doing muscle splits like me, if you're doing like push day and a pull day and splitting like that, then I would say do 2 days break, 2 days break. Similar to what I do, will work. Or have a day off in between each session if that works best for you. That's harder to get a routine in though, because there's 7 days of the week. If you're doing full body though, or if you're training for something like CrossFit or High Rocks, then I would probably try and get a day. If I'm doing full body or High Rocks training, then I would definitely try and get like a day in between each one. So it kind of depends. I don't have that any more information from you, so hopefully that will help. Next question, and then we'll go into the hamstring stretch. Right, I can only work out 3 times a week. Should I do full body every workout? Okay, so I'm getting to the stretch and then I'll answer the question. I'm going to bring one leg in. I'm going to take that leg out. If you can get it flat to the floor, fantastic. And it's up to you. You can reach forward and try and grab the toe if you want to. I'm not flexible enough for that when I'm not warm. So for me, I'll just lean forward. If you find you get a better stretch, or you want a better stretch from going forward central instead of towards the leg, you can do that as well. If you're not very flexible at all, or you're really cold and you don't want to push it, grab this foot or this ankle, nice upright, and then just feel it. And then as that releases, lean into it a little bit more. So go with whatever feels good. Yeah, so I can only work out 3 times a week. What should I do? Should I do full body every workout? That's probably the best return on investment for your time, because you're going to get enough rest in between workouts. Hopefully you're not going to go, hopefully you're not doing 3 days in a row and then rest for 4 days, because I really don't recommend that for many reasons. But yes, I would, to definitely get the most return on investment for your time, I'd definitely go full body. And if you're unsure on how to do that, then click the link below for my free download on your 5 lift framework. And that will give you an idea, or you can just follow my plan. Swap sides, please. I've been reducing my fat to get more lean. How long till I notice the difference? There's too many variables in this for me to answer, really. And reducing your fat might not be the answer. Depends on how active you are, because fat can be used as fuel. So if you're cutting down on fuel, is your training going to suffer? If your training is then going to suffer, do you need more carbs? Do you need to put your fats back up, or you just need to take the hit on the training? And if you do take the hit on the training, then is that going to get you lean? No, it's not. So it kind of depends. Again, too many variables for me to answer properly. If you're trying to get into a calorie deficit, then fat's probably the thing to look at, because it's got a higher calorie value. But we do need fat in our bodies, so don't cut it down too low. Okay, I'm going to bring it in. Who have we got on? Right. So, are you juggling training? How are you juggling training, business, and motherhood? Well, bring it in. I'm going to hold this one for a little bit longer. Open up the hips, really feel it here. Keep it nice and straight, holding onto the ankles, or bring it down. Grab the toes and further it that way. Don't worry about the curve in your spine as long as you're nice and relaxed. We're all good. Juggling training, business, and motherhood is hard. Definitely don't try and get back to where you were before parenthood, because you're just going to set yourself up for failure. Like, you're not going to get that body back. You're not going to get that training regime, that training quality back. And the same with your business. You're not going to get the same results with your business because you're not going to be able to put as much into your business. So I think being realistic is probably where you need to start. And being realistic with this is going to be harder because it's all new and it changes a lot consistently. Like, you could have really easy parenting day, you can have a really hard parenting day, you could have a day where you're getting loads of night where you're getting loads of sleep, you can get a night where you're getting terrible sleep, you could have a week with terrible sleeps, then you could have weeks of good sleep. That, again, like, you've got to be prepared to sort of change and adapt on the spot. Then there's your concentration and your energy levels is a really big factor too. So it's tough, but you've got to find what works for you. And we're in the terrible twos phase. So luckily she's not really going through that phase, but that's the age bracket we're in. So we have no idea what's going to happen day to day. We just plan it as best as we can and don't get too frustrated or disappointed if plans have to change at last minute. It's okay. Right, moving away from here, we're going to do some quads. So we're going to have front leg. Front leg can be straight if you want your hamstring that way. If you want it bent, you can have it bent too. Back leg, though, I'm going to shuffle back a little bit. Back leg, we want bent. You can get your heel towards your bum. And then we're going to go for a quad stretch here. Up to you on where you want to target here, on where you want to feel it. So for me, the best way I can feel it is if I lean this way. I can get a really good quad stretch here. If I lean forward like this, I can feel it more in my front leg, but I don't want it in my front leg. Again, that's up to you. Or you can go back and central, and that is more in my hip here. But again, it's up to you where you want to feel it. Hold it there. Next question. I'm training for a high rocks and I want to lose weight, but will it affect my performance? It can do, but not necessarily. It'll depend, like everything I've said, it'll depend on your situation, your circumstances. Losing weight will probably make the running and the cardio elements easier, but it won't necessarily make the weight bearing stuff easier. It'll probably actually make that harder. Because with the sled, for example, the sled being the perfect example, weight can help move weight. So if you want to lose weight, that's fine. It will vary as well, depending on your size. But if you want to lose weight, that's fine. However, I would definitely look at building muscle, building more muscle, building more strength. to help you with the strength element. And if you build the muscle, that will help burn the fat for you. So you might not necessarily lose weight that way, but you'll be leaner. So you will look like you've lost weight, if that makes sense. But that will help you with your performance better overall in the comp. I'm not a high rocks coach, but I do train people for high rocks comps just for the strength, just for their strength element. So swap sides. Again, go with what feels better for where you want to feel this stretch. This is going to be our last stretch. No, it's not very long, but hopefully the more I do these, more people will jump on and the more questions I'll get through, and we can make the sessions a little bit longer. But yeah, I'm not a high rocks coach, but I do train people with the strength element. Same with CrossFit. I don't do CrossFit. I'm not a CrossFit coach, but I do help people with the strength element so they can transfer that over into their classes when they go. I don't actually train a lot of powerlifters, which is fine. Powerlifters usually get into powerlifting by having a coach already. And mainly just women who want simple programming, want structure to follow, and don't want to spend hours in the gym. Help them build strength, get confident in the gym, and help them to realize how much that's going to transfer into their real lives. That's what I do. And like I said earlier, if you were on earlier, if you need help with any of that, just check the links below. There is a free download for you, which includes a plan. Follow that plan for about 6 weeks, 3 times a week, and you'll make incredible progress, no matter where you are in your journey. And relax. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining me. I'm Natalie. If you need anything, you know where I am, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Submit any questions you've got in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great Wednesday. Bye.